We want to turn now to Senate discussion, which is live, happening right now here on Live Impact News. We will listen in now, and once again, keep us up here on your feeds because we are expecting a response from NC Dems regarding Big Beautiful Bill in just moments.
And we will continue to move expeditiously to build out the President's administration. On the legislative side, Mr. President, our first order of business this week will be completing work on the Genius Act. This bipartisan legislation will finally create a clear regulatory framework for stablecoins, a framework that will protect consumers and our national security while helping to keep the United States at the forefront of financial innovation. And I'm hoping that we can finish up this legislation in the very near future. Another item high on our list to begin work on in June is a rescissions package the White House intends to send Congress this week. The administration has identified a number of wasteful uses of taxpayer dollars, and we will be taking up this package and eliminating this waste. We'll make that a priority, Mr. President. We also stand ready to provide President Trump with any tools he needs to get Russia to finally come to the table in a real way. President Trump has invested considerable time in working to end the bloodshed in Ukraine, but Vladimir Putin appears more interested in prolonging the war than in pursuing peace. And finally, of course, Mr. President, this work period we will focus, I should say, on taking up legislation to permanently extend tax relief for hardworking Americans, strengthen our border, energy, and national security. The tax relief that Republicans passed in 2017, tax relief that poured more money in the pockets of working Americans, is set to expire at the end of this year. And if Congress doesn't act, Americans making less than $400,000 a year will see a $2.6 trillion tax hike in 2026. We are not going to let that happen. And our biggest focus this month will be completing this tax relief legislation with the goal of getting the final bill to the President before the 4th of July. It's going to be a very busy month, Mr. President, and I'm looking forward to the work ahead. Mr. President, I yield the floor.
Mr. President.
Senator from Colorado.
I just want to thank the leader on behalf of the people of Colorado and the people of Boulder for his remarks of concern, and I share his commitment to making sure that these sorts of terrorist attacks don't happen in our country when people are expressing their free speech rights. And it is not surprising to me that the leader would be one of the very first people to the floor to raise the voices of the people in Colorado at this moment and the people of his state. Thank you, leader, and thank you, Mr. President. I yield the floor.
Mr. President.
Senator from Iowa.
Today is the 39th year celebration of the United States Senate being covered by C-SPAN 2. I've come to the floor countless times since my first term in the United States Senate beginning in 1981. It's a privilege to represent Iowans in my home state here in the greatest deliberative body in the world. For more than 4 decades and counting, I've joined my colleagues here in this chamber to debate public policy, shed light on wrongdoing, and celebrate historic milestones. I've cast votes on behalf of Iowans, given my assent or dissent to nominations and legislation on matters both foreign and domestic, on issues from A to Z, for a period of time spanning.
All right, folks tuning in here on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus, we're going to pivot away from these live Senate discussions underway to get back to this